Right. Good. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, guys. Depending on where you live, of course. Today is round 10 for the Chinese Grand Prix in season 7. Apologies for not making the last two races due to IRL reasons, but here we are. Let's go over the standings real quick. P1 is Chris with 166. P2 is Mini with 133. P3 is Will with 85. P4 is Nicola with 75. Jameer with 68. Zora with 66. Logic with 52. Tim with 50. Gagri with 43. Tokai with 39. Formula Cringe with 35. Jim with 30. Ted with 24. Mike with 23. Skoranji with 21. Coral with 20. Keanu with 19. LDM with 10. Steph with 9. Dace with 5. Thiak with 4 points. Mink with 2 points. And Dylan with 1 point. 5 minutes left of quali. Let's do the constructors real quick, then we'll join. Red Bull are the lead with 297. Then we have Ferrari with 248. McLaren with 152. Mercedes 98. Aston Martin 68. Alpine 45. Alfa Romeo 29. AlphaTauri 19 points. Williams 15 points. And Haas with 14 points. Now let's go. Probably it's our first time racing in China in the history of the Darlan Racing League. So as it stands, with 3.5 minutes, under 4 minutes left, we have Jameer in first, then we have Logic, then we have Tim, Zoro, Tokai, Skoranji, Gagli, Nicola, Steph, and LDM on top 10. Also can see Ted and Mini are out of qualifying. So they'll be starting at the back. So we are now on board with Jameer in the Ferrari, who sits in P5 in the championship with 68 points to his name. He's not that far off P4 in the championship. But let's see what he can do with under 3 minutes remaining in qualifying. Shanghai is a very difficult track to master, so we'll see some drivers out there struggling. So I just got told that we're having a short quali now, so the likes of Minnie and Ted will be starting at the back for the race. And Chris has not set a lap yet, so he has one more lap to. He has one more lap, one more chance. Right, we have Jameer who exits turn 10 in the Shanghai International Circuit. He improves 3.5 tenths. That's a decent time gain from the Ferrari driver. This corner is so easy to spin out, so the driver should be careful here. And let's see how he would take the hairpin. He locks up a bit. Jameer, after improving 3.5 tenths, he improves 4 tenths now and sets a 1 minute 30.8. That's a good lap from the Ferrari man. And he's improved to 10th. Dylan's on his end lap. Let's go with, it's Bart J. Or let's call him Bart. So, obviously it's Bart's first term in D1. He's a D2 driver from McLaren, but it's his first time in D1. Let's see what he could do tonight. Obviously he's in the AlphaTauri, so no big expectations for him. So he, he actually does not improve. Or he improves to P13. So LDM now finishes his qualifying in P9. Dylan sprints. Steph now looking to get a tow from his teammate. Coral is in P15. Obviously, Steph, due to his amazing pace in D2, he got promoted to D1 as a full-time driver. Steph to P5. That's a stellar job from the Alfa Romeo. Jack was joined. So the two D2 McLaren duo are both in the AlphaTauri tonight. Now let's see what Chris could pull. Obviously he did not set any lap time yet. He got involved in an incident, I think, with one of Ted and Minnie. But Chris crosses the line and he goes P1 by 2 tenths. Not bad. Now we're waiting for Dylan to cross the line, obviously. Oh, Chris has a five place penalty, so he'll be starting in P6. So Chris P1 after setting an amazing lap. Jameer P2, Logic P3, Tim P4, Zor P5, Steph P6, Tokai P7, Scorns P8, Nicola P9, Gagli P10, LDM P11. Then we have Dylan, Lancy, Bart, Cordoviste, Sharia, Coral, Minnie, Ted, and Jack, who's in P20. So, I forgot to mention, but this week is a sprint week, so this is a sprint race now. We will have probably, I have no idea how many laps, but it's a sprint. So it's 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix sprint. It's a good reaction time from Chris, who's trying to block off Jameer. Go get to turn 1. Jameer has to stick in, has to settle in for P2. Telemetry, guys. We're good now. So we see tussling in the midfield of the pack. We see a moment of Tokai and Steph going for side by side for a moment as Nicola sends it up the inside of the Alfa Romeo and gains a position. Up to P7 he goes. There's fighting between Lancey and Ted for P16. So as oh no, Mini spun. He's not had a good start to his Chinese Grand Prix. As Nicola also spun, so it's a disaster for both drivers. Coral and Ted both fighting for P13 of this race. Coral on the mediums, Ted on the softs. So here are your tires, ladies and gentlemen. Majority of the drivers are on mediums apart from Ted, Nicola, Zoro, Logic and Chris on the soft tires. So these 5 drivers will have an advantage in the first laps of the sprint. LDM is scoring, going at it for P7. So that's for 2 points in the sprint. We see Chad really close to Bart ahead of him. He's not gonna go for any moves into turn 11 since it's really risky for the move here. But he will fancy an opportunity in the long straight. Chad will go for the move, but Bart won't give him an easy job as he squeezes the inside for a moment, but Ted now through into P12 of the sprint. See Core Beast running really wide on the exit of turn 14 into turn 15. But he hasn't lost a position as a result of it. Here are the 2 Haas cars fighting for the final points paying positions in the sprint. Dylan fancying an opportunity on his teammate. So Chris already gained a second of Logic 3 laps into the sprint. How long could he hold that for? Zoro and Tim going side by side, the 2 former teammates at Aston Martin and Alpine last season and the previous season. They're now tussling for P4 in the sprint. Tim has got the outside line into turn 1. Zoro covers it off. Tim goes for a switchback on his former teammate. But Zoro will have the inside into turn 3. And it looks like he gets the position, but Zoro will use his ERS and ghost past Tim. Up to 4th he goes. I see yellows for a moment. I think it's someone at the back. It's Lancey going for a send on Jack. Well, that's a push to pass from Lancey. Jack nearly rides the grass, which allows Nicola to gain a position on him. Up to P19 he goes. Now let's see what Nicola... There's no fighting here. Let's see what Mini could do against Bart. He's not gonna send it actually. But he fancies an opportunity for a moment there. Still does not get it. Back to the fight for P4. It looks like Tokai is now getting involved in the business with Zoro and Tim. Dylan makes a mistake there. Nicholas spins again. But Dylan makes a mistake and loses the place to Ted for P9. So he's now just outside the points bank positions. As he needs to gain another place for points. So Scoranzi fancying an opportunity on LDM for P7. He gets the inside line coming into turn 14. But LDM, as it looks right now, he still has the position. And Ted's gonna go for an amazing switchback on the house. And now he's in the points pink positions. As now he sends it on LDM. He goes for the move on the Alpine driver. Now he's up to P7. So Ted's gained 12 places in the sprint. That's amazing. So here's the battle between Logic and Jamiro for P2. So Logic, who will not go for the Jamiro. Looks like Logic's lost quite a bit of time in Sector 1. Into the twisty section of the track. Sector 2. Logic with the DRS 6 tenths back. He has no ERS left in his tank. He slightly taps Jameer on his rear right tires, but that won't affect anyone at the moment. As we see tussle between LDM and Ted again. Actually, there's a 6-car battle for P7. Let's see how that will turn out at the end of this race. As Goranzi makes a mistake on the exit of the final corner that fancies an opportunity for Steph as he gains the position on Skoranji. Now Steph will go for the move into turn 6. And he makes the move stick. It's turn 7. Now he's up into the points pink positions in P8. As the Alpine gets too close to the back of the Alfa Romeo into turn 11. LDM will have the DRS on Steph. He's not using his DRS to overtake. Gagri's now recovered to P10, so it means 2 more positions for him and he's now in the points. As he will not make the move, it's turn 1 as he's impossible. But he fancies an opportunity to turn 2. And now it's turn 4, he goes. He locks up. Garros, it's Nicola again. He's not having the time of his life. As he's now 60 seconds behind Jack in P19. Final lap of the sprint. Chris still leading by 1.7 to Jameer. Logic's right behind Jameer. So he's now gonna fancy a move on the final straight. Let's see how this will turn out. As no mistakes from here. Because every mistake will decide your finishing position in the sprint. So 7 tenths between Logic and Jameer. 8 tenths actually, because Logic lost some time in the exit. Actually, Jameer's gained some time. I saw Chris's gap from earlier this lap. Looks like the top 3 won't be changing unless something magical happens. The soft compound tires are dead, I have to say. Well, let's see, LDM and Steph for the final points making positions. They bank tires. Looks like LDM will gain the position on Steph after a late move that saw him take P8 and the final points position. As Chris wins the Chinese sprint ahead of Jameer, Logic, Tim, Zoro. Your top 5. So here are the results for the Chinese sprint. We have Chris, who takes the Chinese sprint win ahead of Jameer, Logic, Tim, Zoro, Tokai, Ted after a brilliant recovery from P19, LDM in P8, who takes the spot away from Steph in P9, Scorenzi 10th, Gagli 11th, Dylan, Mini, Cordovis, Sharia, Lancy, Bart, Coral, Jack and Nicola, rounding off your sprint finishing positions. So now on to 29 laps of action. Let's see who will come out on top. Five red lights. And away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. Good start from the pole setter Jameer. But it's not a great start for Tim, who drops 2 places as Tokai makes a dive on Zoro for P. Oh, there's some contact between Zoro and Tokai. But they've all got through safely. As forgot to mention, Chris's grid penalty from qualifying is applied to the race, not the sprint, so that's why you saw him start in P6. Anyways. 28 laps, not 29 laps. Apologies. Oh, as LDM is fun. Coral as well. I mean, Steph, not Coral. But Coral makes way for his teammate. That's good of him. Oh, there's some contact. It's Sharia, Gagli, and Cordavist. So Steph's retired. It's a virtual safety car. Right before we got to the second lap. Cordavist got damage. Gagli, I cannot see if he's got damage. But I think Sharia... Yeah, Sharia has got damage. And Gagli... it does not look he has damage. So Mini is now pitting. Back to action. We have Tim on Tokai. Tokai has to concede. Oh, Gagli's pitting, so he has damage. Oh, Gagli is now retired. So we saw two retirements in this race. We see Nicholas spun on the mini map. He's not doing well on this track. He's not comfortable with it. As 4 tenths separate each car in the top 4. It now changed because you see the gaps on the left. But no, but this time, now it's time for Chris to make moves. As now he's up to P5 after starting P6 in the main race. Zoro with the pace, with the medium tires. Here are the tires, by the way. Jameer, Chris, and Logic, Dylan, Bart, Coral, Nicola, Mini, and Cordavist are all on hard, while the rest of the drivers are on soft, or are mediums, not softs. Sorry guys. You see a bit of barging there between Zoro and Logic, two former teammates at Red Bull in D2. So when he's pitted again, he's had a problem. When he's on the softs now. I suppose he got damage from lap 1. And he's got damage again. By the looks of it. As he will fall behind Cordavist in P17. Chris burnt half of his garage. The top 5 are really close. Top 6 actually. They're all really close together. And I suppose the DLRL is now available. As Chris will go to the outside and now will take P4 away from Tim. He gets really close to his teammate. Yeah. There's yellows again. It's LDM who's retired actually. He spun and retired. So that's going to be the end of his weekend. Mace with the first lap. Me with the first lap. We see Zoro for the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. He takes the lead away from Jameer. Jameer now goes off the track. There's not enough grip on the hard tires. As now he swings to the outside line. And he will retake P1 with a smooth move. As Coral's now out. Zoro to the outside again. And surprisingly that decent cause has benefited Zoro with his lead. As we saw 4 retirements in 6 laps. Yellow is for Coral and retired. So we have 2 Alfa Romeo cars. DNF. Jameer and Zoro, 2 former teammates again. 2 former teammates from season 4 or 4. Yeah, season 4. They're both at Ferrari. As Zoro's been spun around by Logic. That's unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. As all the work he's put in has been set back. As some contact between Tokai and Tim. I saw Tokai sliding for a moment there, as he gets now gets too close to Tim. It's turn 11. I don't think they're happy with each other after that. So Chris now gained the place on Logic. Now setting his sights for P1 in the race. So Tim's in, surprisingly. I'm not sure if he has damage. Let's check if he has damage. Oh yeah, that's a shame. He was doing so well there. Now he has damage. So it's a disaster for the McLaren team, as both cars are now outside the top 10. But Tim is the only hope for them, as anything could happen there. So Zor is really close to Tokai. Let's watch him for now. And he's now looking to regain his position. Zoro with the DRS, overtaking his former team, Aston Martin, as he was in the Aston Martin last season. Now he's up to P4 in the Chinese Grand Prix. Let's see if he could gain, gain himself to P3. As many spitting again, and he's now retired, so that's the end of the Mexican race, as he's had a disaster. He's had a disaster weekend. He's DNF'd in quali. He was at the back in the sprint, and he retired in the race. A week to forget for the Mexican. So Chris now, after his 5-place penalty in qualifying, he's now battling Jameer for the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. So Chris for the lead now of the Chinese Grand Prix. But Jameer's not gonna give that one easily. But now he has to, as Chris is now fully ahead, coming into the final corner. As now Jameer's back to the lead. After 3 corners of being overtaken, he's now back up to the lead. Stellar job from him. Jameer twitching a bit. Everything to be a minute setup. Chris, he was close, but he decided to back out. So Chris is still looking ways to overtake Julian and get away with his overtake. So Zoro's gonna pit and we'll take out the scrub set of mediums and now we'll go onto the hards, I suppose. Scorangy as well. So he's not the only one pitted. So Jameer's still doing an amazing job on keeping Chris behind. Chris, no, he cannot make the move. see what Zoro's doing, since he's the last card to pick. He gets the move done on Jack. As Dylan spun, two Aston Martins are now double stacking in the pits. So let's see where Tokai will come out actually, because he was in a battle with Zoro, I suppose. I think Zoro will get ahead of him. So Tokai will slot in behind Jack. So the top three have a clear way behind them. So Chris now takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. But Chris now decides to pit. Over halfway. So Chris still comes out of P3 despite hitting on to the leaders. Now let's see if the overcut will work with Jamira and Logic. As what happened to Jack, he went off with turn 1. So Logic now takes the lead for the first time in this race. But now he decides to come in. So Jameer doing the trying to stay as long as possible and doing an overcut on the likes of Zoro and Chris. But let's see if Chris will come out ahead, or if Logic will come out ahead. So Chris sets Zoro sets the first lap. Not Chris, Zoro. But Chris is now 3 seconds ahead. Tied with the first lap now. Nicola now pits onto the hot tires. So Logic, as a result of staying out, is now a second ahead of Zoro, but now Jameer decides to come in. He's 17 seconds ahead of Chris. Let's see if he will come out ahead or... Never mind, never mind, never mind. So Jameer will come out ahead of Zoro. Yeah, ahead of Zoro. So he's just ahead of Zoro. So Ted with one lap fresher tires than Scoron Z. Now behind Scoron Z. Now possibly trying to overtake the Haas. And he will go to the inside of turn 1 and now takes the place away from the Haas. But the Haas will attempt to switch back, but that won't work for him. As he has to settle in. Was only 7 tenths behind Ted. We will have the DRS. Now let's see if we will get any close to Ted. He's now less than 3 tenths behind. That won't be effective. So as you can see, the likes of Chris, Logic and Jameer, they're all separated. So now Jameer's now, ever since he came out until now, he's gained 5 seconds on Zoro. He's now on quicker tires than Logic, so he will be gaining on him. So Jameer is now caught up to Logic. Now they are separated by 5 tenths of each other. Logic's hands on to the inside, now goes to the outside. Oh, there's so close to contact there. Luckily Jameer bricked as much as possible. But Jameer now goes off the track. He gets really close again to Logic. So now Tim comes into the pits. Let's see where he will come out. So Tim's now on the softs. And he will come out in E10. Yeah, he's in P10. So Scorency now tries to get the lap car out of the way of Sharia. That's really close to Tokai. But now let's focus on Jameer and Logic, as Jameer's 2 tenths back. Jameer with the DRS, with the advantage, he goes to P2 of the Chinese Grand Prix. Logic has to concede for now. Oh, there's a bit of contact, but luckily he's avoided much. So that's now got a place on his teammate. So 5 laps remaining, I should say. It's going to be an epic fight between top 3 positions. With Chris being on older tires compared to Logic, and older tires, and Logic have older tires compared to Jameer. So let's see who will come out on top in 5 laps time. They're exactly a second behind, separating each other. Still a second separate them. Separate. So, Jamil would do DRS actually. Load of survive DRS on Jamir. They're really close to each other. At this point, it's not predictable. Who pushes on top? Jamir with the DRS this time. He stays behind and will prevent any moves in turn 1. Jamir with the move on the outside of turn 14. He gets the move actually. A decent job from the Ferrari driver. Let's see what his response to that on the straight. On 2-lap older mediums, let's see how he will handle the Ferrari driver. And let's see what logic can do to help his teammate. So Ted and Tokai swapping places due to Aston Martin. For the V's with 3 seconds to stun. Press with the DRS 3 tenths back. Let's see what he will do with turn 14. He does not get it, I'm afraid. Now let's see what he could do on the straight, on the main straight. He does not get the move done, but he is getting closer to Jameer. Despite being on 2 lap older mediums. But 2 laps is all to play for these two. And including logic. So 2 laps is all to play for all 3 drivers. As anyone could come out on top. It could be Jameer, it could be Chris, it could be Logic. So Chris does not go for the move right now, but he has one more lap to do so. Otherwise, it's game over for him and his chances of the win. But here comes the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. Chris will not go for the move yet. But Ted does go for the move on his teammates. One more straight left after this. Let's see who will come out on top. Will it be Jameer? Will it be Chris? Now we're about to find out. As Jameer defends the inside line, he's deploying all his ERS motor, and it looks like Jameer will keep his position. Unless Chris does something about it right now. But Jameer defends himself and will cross the line to win his first race of the season. Chris in P2, Logic P3, and Zoro will probably cross the line in P4 after holding off the 2 Aston Martins. So Ted P5, Tokai P6, Score and D will come on P7. Tim recovers to P8. Dylan will cross the line P9 and Lancey will run out the points. We're just waiting on Jack to cross the line. We run out of fuel. We run out of fuel. So here are your results for the Chinese Grand Prix. Jameer wins for the first time this season. Uh, it's Chris P2, Logic P3, Zora P4, Ted P5, Tokai P6, Scornsy P7, Tim P8, Dylan P9, Lancey P10. So that's your top points being. Yeah, that's your points finishers. Then we have Nicola, Bart, Cordaviste, Jack, Sharia, and for the DNFs we have Mini, Coral, LDM, Gagli, and Steph. Unfortunately, so that's it for the Chinese Grand Prix weekend. Let's invite the drivers to. Can you both hear me? Good. Okay, should we start? Yes. Jimmy, let's start with you since you won the race. First of all, congrats on the win. You deserve it. You've driven a clean race, and you've made the strategy work. Obviously, talk us through that. Yeah, great. And obviously, it's you've won. Your last one was a long time ago. How do you feel on getting back on to the top step of the podium? So uh, your win jumps you up to P3 possibly in the championship. Yeah, it's a big step up. So since it's the last three races remaining on the game, actually, have you started talks with any seat for next season? Yeah. So that's gonna be it for you for tonight. Congrats again. Chris, your turn now. Congrats on the championship. You must be happy now.
Qualifying was not probably the best thing.
Yeah.
As my stupid awareness happened and also ghosting happened. But then yeah, I managed to get a really clean lap together. I didn't expect to get a really solid lap, and I was really annoyed at that stage, and I was quite annoyed. So I wanted just like punish myself and just start from the back, but I got told that no, even if you start from the back, you won't like penalize you anyway. But um, yeah, first of all, I've got to thank KP. I've got to thank, everybody. And, because if he didn't sign me, if he didn't carry his trust for this season, it would have been able to happen. And, it was big GG's to everybody, Mini as well. He did a really good season up until now because, he didn't have he didn't have the most clean lost races, but, I'm happy to, have a good fight with the Ferraris and also with the Red Bull, my Red Bull teammate Leighton, who's also doing a quite a good job um, in the Red Bull as well after his return. But overall, I'm really happy to get the championship. It's a great achievement for me especially, and hopefully we can just sail on to the rest of the season, get a constructors championship.
So after missing out of the championship last season by a small margin of points, I'm sure you feel very happy on clinching the championship this season after what happened last season.
Yeah, 100%. After like Brazil race, it was really annoying because that incident with Mike was pretty much my fault, but I managed to come back and get Mike on the line on the last lap. But that 3 seconds could have been really preventable because the game didn't show me how many warnings I got. So I realized, oh, maybe it's regular trackless, but it wasn't, which was stupid. But that's the game for you. But last season it was not the best season for me. I've made a lot of mistakes as well as this season. France, Bahrain. Those are my mistakes. But I've managed to get up. Get a lot of podiums and wins this season, and it is great. But hopefully now we can just march on forward. We've got one championship sealed up, but now we've got to try and get the next one, which will be a difficult, hopefully, a challenge with Ferrari, because they could turn up to the occasion in the last two races, but you never know what can happen.
I've seen your fight with Jameer for the lead. Obviously, you guys have had an amazing fight. I actually enjoyed it. So I'm sure you're disappointed of missing out on the win tonight. How do you feel?
Personally, it wasn't easy at all. Even though if I had a 4 second gap, I knew it would come down because Jameer and Leighton had such a tire advantage because even if I did the undercut, I might have gained time. But that tire advantage is a massive around here because
Yeah.
the corners are just really, really, really strong on the tire wear, and Jameer did a really good job to close down that gap to Leighton, and it was difficult with battery as well. And I don't know if Jameer had high or low wings, but it seemed like he was able to harvest the battery really well. And it was difficult. But if I had a bit more battery, I would have maybe challenged him. But it was really close to the end, and I was happy with my performance today. Getting sixth to fourth, third, the first couple of laps was crucial. And that incident with Zoro, hopefully that's all sorted out and cleared in the air because it's unfortunate. But overall it was GG's. Jameer deserved there. We all did a really good race, and I can't blame Jimmy, because he had a lot of pace. We were pretty much equal on pace over the weekend, and he just had the tire wear advantage, which is just astronomical around here.
Right, final question for the
Yep.
night. I've asked Jameer this question. Since we're now 2 races behind until the end of the season, have you started any talks with any team principal for a possible seat next season?
I might be, tentative at the moment because I don't know if how my college is gonna go because I'm moving next year. But it depends really what my time is. But if I have got a bit of time left, then I will probably go as a driver, and hopefully I can just stay at Red Bull for next game. I don't know what the TP will be. It'll probably be a very substantial switch for everything. But if not, I'll probably become a TP and try and guide whoever I have for next season to get in the double constructors, double championships. But it's too early to say what will happen for the league in the future. But hopefully next season I'll be on the grid, or maybe um, helping people improve more, and get that. Hopefully get a good team principal spot.
That's great to hear. Thank you both for your time. I hope
Yep.
I hope you both have a great rest of your day.
Yeah,
Thank you.
cheers.
You
You
too.
too, Si.
Us. GG's. See you guys. S- second. Wait. So you guys, thank you guys for the stream. Thank you guys for watching us tonight. I hope you all enjoyed all race long. Once again, I apologize for not showing up for the past 2 races due to IRL reasons, but I'm back today. So next race information is D2 tomorrow, but the next round is in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, next week. I hope you guys stay tuned on it. And as I previously mentioned, it's the final two races. So we have Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi next. Then it's the end of the game cycle, as we'll be driving on F124 next season. Once again, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and that's me signing off. Bye.